I might need those 5 minutes extra because it took me 20 years to understand what I'm doing. And you have 15 minutes to do the same. There was no animal harmed in taking that picture. But it does explain what we do. And in about 1997, I thought I needed a model that explains creativity. And for me, creativity is chemistry. It's trying to combine all possible creative disciplines that are out there. So I ripped off Mendeleev, and each of these elements is a discipline. PH is photography, design, fashion, art, styling, graphic design, etc., etc. Okay, so this was the first model in 1997. This is what we are doing now. So we have about 145 creative disciplines. We put in healthcare, public sphere, society, architecture, etc., etc., etc. It's not perfect. I'm not done yet. Okay, but it's a model, and the idea is to bring people together from different disciplines, different cultures, different origins, different backgrounds, different ages. About 19 and a half years ago, because we're existing 20 years next year, this is the little sketch that I made, and on top of it you'll see all those different disciplines. Today we have about 5,000 lab members. In the middle you'll see the different labs that are active, and on the bottom you see the different platforms that we give these creative people to accelerate their talent. So basically we publish, we exhibit, we show stuff in different labs. Where the money comes from, I'll explain that later, because sometimes even I don't know. On the top there, we have an online community. So it's all about people. And to be honest, I don't like the word crowd innovation, because for me, crowd is not anonymous. Okay, we need to know all the people that are working with us. So all of those 5,000 people, we know. Okay, we know who they are, what they eat, how they like their coffee, etc. That's what we try to build. About 5,000 people in a database. We set up dedicated labs. So I understood that we cannot eat here, but I brought a chocolate 3D printer. But sorry, we cannot eat here. Because we have a chocolate lab that is active. Okay, we have a science education lab that is active. We have an urban green lab that is active. We have a luxury lab that is active. A lab being active means that we embrace all ideas to come. All those 200 labs, we're doing it for 20 years, so we have about 200 labs that are going in different sections. City lab, transformation lab, etc. And the output of those labs is a database of ideas. Today we have about 10,000 ideas in our database. Okay. So it's very proactive. No one is paying us for that. We just have a system where people send in ideas, or we bring people together. This is a tourist lab project. On the bottom there, because we need to give all these people a platform to accelerate what they're doing, to accelerate their talent. So I've published about 35 books or magazines that are related to the different labs. So each lab has a book or a magazine. Sometimes it's big, sometimes it's small, and can even be smaller if we don't have enough money. Okay. But I like the fact that we leave traces of our research. Ideas for greener cities. So some of the labs are sponsored. I'm from Belgium. I live here, but I come from Belgium. So the the Agency of Nature and Forest is a sponsor of the green research. The tourist department, the Ministry of Tourism, is a sponsor of the tourist lab. Okay, or a spin-off of the university. IMEC is a sponsor of the Intangible Scapes lab about nanotechnology. So we go from chocolate to nanotechnology. Okay, just in 2 minutes. We set up our office in a city hall in Belgium, where we asked people to give us their ideas. So people could come in our office in the city hall and say, I don't think the roundabout in front of my house is right, and you need to change it. So they draw a little sketch, they come and give it to us, and we publish it or we show it. We're working now on a new publication, which is a bit of a gazette. It's going to be published 4 times a year. So that's the publication part. And then we have the online presence. I've had about 6, 7, 8, 9 different websites up until now. 20 years ago, it was before Facebook. I saw it all. We had spam attacks. So it's an ongoing struggle. Okay. Today we have 2 websites. One is the addictlab.com website, and the other one is called yourownlab.com as a service that we give to organizations and companies to use our methodologies. It cannot be about just publication or online presence. We take physical spaces. So you can run into us in different activities at the Milan Design Fair. I brought some of the exhibitions that we did at the Milan Design Fair here. You'll be able to see a mushroom shoe. Okay, in our research about biodiversity, someone says, we have too much shoes and we need a new material, so she's making mushroom shoes. There's one over there. But the physical aspect of what we do is important. So this is the Fashion Inspiration Lab at a Fashion Week in Brussels. This is at the Palexpo here in Geneva at the kids exhibition, where we took 500 square meters of space. Looked a bit like this. You'll see the different elements coming in. This is the design fair in Milan. So we try to give our lab members the platforms that they need. Someone from Indonesia says, I want to be exhibited in Milan. We try to bring him in. Someone from South Africa says, I want to be showing my collection to someone in Antwerp. We try to bring him there. Our current space is a space in Étoile, which is between Geneva and Lausanne. So if you want to visit us, you're welcome. But as things go, we have no idea how long we'll stay. We just take on spaces temporarily. We started with 3 days in May. We're still there. So during the Christmas period, you can find our Santa Lab in Étoile. And we have also different tools, such as a serre à idées, greenhouse, where people can come in and say, I have an idea on this question. Okay, we have partners such as the YOCN, where we ask people to give us ideas on nature reservation, and we use these kind of tools. So this is our Santa Lab. And linking to what you spoke about this morning, about the Fab Labs concept, about making stuff, is something that we need as well. We need not just have a system to have new ideas, but also have machines to help them make them. So we have these machines as well. Okay, we use these are prototypes in cork and wood. It's a CNC or a 3D printer, and as I brought here, a 3D chocolate printer as well. Not a lot of Fab Labs have these. Sorry. But we also use other materials such as Compound 9 to produce our prototypes, etc. Just to be able to have not just the ideas, but also the tools to make them happen. Number of other tools that we developed, and that's something that you might be interested in, because when we do these brainstorming sessions, when we bring people together, we need to be able to profile you quite quickly. So I brought a game here, which is called the Creativity Chemistry card game, where on the left side, you'll be able to put the cards that are your skills. I work in a bank, so you put finances on the left side. And then on the right side, you put your passion and your interest, which not all the time is the same thing. So you put, let's say that you like gardening, so you put the card gardening on the right side. And we don't care about the left side. We don't care about your profession. We care about your passion. Okay? And it's about that system that we use to bring people together, to put them in groups, and to have brainstorming sessions. With different ways of playing with the cards. We added the IB profile, so for students, where we're not just talking about the creative chemistries, creative cards, but also your character. I am a risk taker. I am curious. I am creative, etc. So that's all in the card game that's there. How much am I doing? Timing okay? Yeah, I need to ask the timing because we also have a luxury lab, and I have a Rolex, but it's printed on a foulard, so it's not. Twice a day it's right as a timing thing. Other tools that we have are a telepresence robot, so people can visit us, like Widianto Utomo, who is a lab member from Indonesia. He can visit his space, his exhibition, with this product in our space by taking over the control of our robot. A project that we did at the World Bank, where we were asking people to give ideas on education in conflict areas. It's very basic. It's an idea wall. You sketch out your idea, you stick it on the wall, but it works so well. Okay, so that's what we do physically, but also digitally. So we sketch all of the ideas out. And then there's a part of businesses contacting us saying, we would like to be part of your system. We need innovation. How can you help us? And I used to have an agency before, advertising agency, which is almost like you become a mercenary for a company and reactive, because they have a problem, they give you a briefing and you start thinking. While as Addict Lab today is very proactive. Okay, we're thinking all the time. We have these databases, we are ongoing. But sometimes people or companies can say, hey, how can we work together? So we have a system where we bring people together based on our profiling system. We do safaris, we give inspiration showers. We work for a number of companies. I worked on the new train for Thalys. But when we do that, we are not inviting people who have their business to work for a train. Okay, we dive in the database, we go look for a chef that is working for El Bulli in Spain and takes a train every day, and so that profile is interesting for us to have on board. So we go out of the box all the time. H&M, yeah, I brought my little friend here. It's actually 3D printed people that we scanned in a process. The International Social Service conferences, food as well. When we bring people together like you here, if the theme is about science and education, we'll bring in a food designer that makes food based on science and education, on Fibonacci, with syringes in salad, etc., etc. Okay. This is Saint-Gobain. And then what I did not expect it, because all of these things was what I wanted to do 20 years ago, is this thing, is the Addict Lab Academy, because kids were interested in what we're doing. And so we started doing, and we're still doing it, opening up an academy to say, hey, kids, you can come and play with our tools. So today, we are doing cyanotype workshops on photography from 1842. We are making scribbling robots. We're using drones, etc., etc. So we're servicing companies like Saint-Gobain or Renault, but also kids like from 4 years on. This is the Timio robot from APFL. I don't know if you know. And this, yeah, you can have a ticket and come play in our laboratory for about 2-3 hours. So the question is, where do we go from here? And to be honest, I don't know, because it's changing all the time, and I saw everything. But maybe if we talk about the 17 SDGs, if that's out there, and we have a database of ideas, such as the one from Widianto, who is a designer, and he made this carafe that you can use to pour water based on an olive tree. Maybe we need to re-dive into our database and have some sort of filter system where we can say, for the 17 SDGs, this idea actually scores like this. So that's what we're working on. Thank you.